Can you guys hear me? I hope you can. Let's see. All right, we'll wait a few more minutes and see who's on. Awesome, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am awesome, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am awesome, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. All right, I'm obviously having to make some adjustments. So you won't hear all the feedback. So I happen to have I'm noticing that there is a delay. So understand that as we move along, there's going to be some delay in what you're seeing versus where I am. So if you notice that, just understand that that's what that's all about. Hey guys, thanks for joining me here today at Sweet Signatures Stamping Creations. I am Carone, your stamping creative expressions artist. And today I am doing pardon my dogs in the background, y'all. Anytime they see anything, they just go nuts. Anyway, I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I wanted to get back in touch with you guys and start doing more videos to share my love of crafting with you guys. So what I decided to do today was to do an unboxing, which I already took them out of the box, of the March 2018 Paper Pumpkin Kit. I used to subscribe to the kit's Paper Pumpkin, but I stopped. And I recently started again. So I said, look, this is a time for me to get together with you guys and to share our love of stamping. So anyway, without further delay, again, if you do not have before I begin, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber with somebody else, guys, that's okay. Right now, we are just getting together, people that are interested in sharing our love of stamping. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you are interested in subscribing to our Paper Pumpkin Kit, you can visit my site at bit.ly/sweetspaperpumpkin, and I'll post that link later on so you can see it. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to have you as part of one of my awesome customers, and you can join my shop and join my customer list at sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. Anyway, without further ado, guys, we are going to get started, primarily because I have got this thing set for 1 hour, and that is all we are going to do today. The feed is open, so if you want to ask me any kind of questions, please definitely do that. This is meant to be an engaging and a conversation. Again, it's time for us to get together and stamp. So if you have any questions at all, please, please, please do not hesitate to ask. I do have the stream playing on my monitor, so I should be able to see if you have any questions. Okay, so the March 2018 Paper Pumpkin Kit is called Make Good Things Grow. And I'm already liking, let me just take this out. Look at the awesome things that we can create here. And normally I would just go find something else somewhere else and do an alternative, but I think I'm going to make at least one of each of the projects. Maybe two, but at least one I'm going to do, and I'm going to make sure that I have enough, because there's always alternate things that you can do with your paper pumpkin. So what comes in our kit this month? Well, let's take a look and quickly unbox. I've already put the stamp set in my little holders here, and so the Paper Pumpkin stamp set for March is kind of geared towards, you can't see that and it's glaring, it's geared towards, it has some Mother's Day sentiments in it. Can you see that? It has some Mother's Day sentiments in it. Let's see if that makes it any difference. Is that better? See, I have to remember where my camera is so that, yeah. Okay, so here are the sentiments. You may not be able to see that as closely. Let me see if I have a clearer piece of paper, if you can see the sentiments. Does that make it any better? Okay, so there's Happy Mother's Day. There's Happy Birthday. What a beautiful friendship we've grown. May good things grow all year long. Hello. And then a leaf and some flowers just for embellishment of your projects. Okay, so that comes in. That's the stamp set. I'll put that right here. Well, I got in mine because I rejoined Paper Pumpkin. I got a block, so this block is what we'll use today. Any new subscriber to Paper Pumpkin will receive one of these cute little stamping blocks. So there you go with that. This month, if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, it's our 5th year anniversary. And as a thank you, this actually came in there. These are wood embellishments. So for 5 years of creativity and sharing. So we're actually going to have a little fun and see if we can use some of these guys in our project. All right, now for the big dude. Oh my gosh. So when I unbox a Paper Pumpkin, I try to put things together because really and truly Paper Pumpkin, it's meant to, I don't want to say be assembly line, but pretty much so that you can actually get your work done of a timely manner. It's not meant for you to sit there and labor. All the thought is done for you. So it's kind of just a matter of you actually getting together either with friends and family and doing a little stamping. So that's all it's really meant to do, okay? So we get these little, let's see, what are the dimensions here? These are, I think it's 4.5. Let me see. These are 4.5 by 3 by 4.5 inch layering pieces. Oh, these are cute. Look at these. Look at how cute. Oh. And you've got you got 4 of each. That's 4. You've got 4 of each of these. So that's 8. And then we've got some little colored cardstock that's cut. And these are cut at 7 by 5. So these will make little 3.5 by 5 cards. And then we have a couple of sheets of stickers that we will use to make our cards. Look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? I'm waiting for my friend Chrissy. She is one of my customers, and she was going to join me for Paper Pumpkin today, but I don't see her so far. But you guys, whether you guys join me or not, I am going to keep on moving. Okay, so that's everything that comes in your kit, plus our Stampin' Dimensionals and some glue dots. All right, what you also get in the kit is little instructions, okay? So, like I said, we are going to follow the instructions for the cards initially, and then we are going to move on from there. So let's see, what's the first one that we are going to do? The first thing says stamp all sentiments, stamp corners of pink card piece. So let's find what it is that we're supposed to be doing. Where's the pink card piece? That's these guys right here. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 pink card pieces. So, but because we are only going to do, I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 2 of each, right? So we're only going to do these, right? So, oh, I forgot. We also got an ink spot in Early Espresso in our card kit right here. Okay. So let me open the ink spot, Be careful with that. Don't hurt yourself or anything. So how many people do I have that actually enjoy stamping? Or new to stamping? Okay. I guess I didn't cut that enough. So be very careful with that when you use your X-Acto knife. Because it will slice your hand. No joke about that. Okay. There we go. So now that's open. So let's see. The first thing we're going to do, it says to stamp your sentiments, right? And stamp the corners of your pink piece. So what stamps are we going to use to do that? I think it looks like these little guys right here to the corners of these 2 sheets of pink paper. So I know we got a block in, we did get a block, but because this is so small, I prefer to use a smaller block. That way it minimizes the ink stains that you will get by trying to stamp that. Now notice I didn't line this up or anything. So I am going to, how I prime my stamp is I just use a little bit of Versamark on there and I stamp off. But all priming your stamp does is just means making sure that you use it for your first time. And that's all that does. So anyway, using my ink spot, I am going to ink up this. I think they're called epithelials, I think is what they're called. I might maybe saying that word wrong. So just tap, tap, tap. And then it's in the corners, so you can, and because it's a photopolymer stamp, you guys, all you need to do is line it up. I'm gonna try to do this so my head's not in the way in the camera. But you line it up so that the points are gonna be on completely on your paper. And there we go. That's one. All right, because we want it to be on each of the corners. And as we're not doing any second generation stamping on this one, and the thing to do is we're going to turn our paper because we want them all to be in the same direction, all facing in. That's 2. This is 3. And last is 4. Now we're going to do that again on the other sheet because when we do assembly style, which is what I call assembly style card making, it's just easier to take care of everything using that one image as much as possible before you move on to the next step. So this guy is done. So we'll do the same thing to the second sheet. And just line it up, get it stamped, and move on. Now, I know that I'm a little bit off because I'm not right over my stamp, so I'm a little off on positioning, but I'm okay with that being off a little bit. And then I also try to make sure that I put when I'm finished, I clean my stamps before I put them away. I did not realize that I was such a freak about it, but I tend to, I don't like my stamps to be discolored a lot. So with that, I just try to make sure that, now with photopolymer, depending on the color of ink that you use, you might have some slight staining. And that's normal and to be expected. So there you go. Now I'm going to pull out my baby wipe. I also have my Stampin' Scrub, but for space limitations, I'm just going to work with my baby wipes today. And because these are little stamps, y'all, I have a tendency to lose these things. So I will almost always put something back as I'm done with it, just because of my tendency to misplace things. So put it right back on there. And then the next thing is that there were these awesome cute little labels in here that we need to stamp. And it says label A. They're all labels A. They are all the same. And so we are going to stamp these guys with a sentiment. Now, this one is stamped with the one you grow. May good things grow all year long. So that's the one we're going to put on these. And again, we're only going to do 2 because we're only going to work with the two. Now, that looks pretty straight to me. And again, it's the first time using these stamps, so I'm going to prime them. And the purpose of the priming is just really to make sure that you have somewhat of solid images. So there we go. And I'll probably stamp off on this one again just to make sure that it's stamping crystal and crisp. There you go. It's very crisp, and that's because we primed it. So here we go. Again. Line up your stamp. Line up your label. And boom. Try to center it, and there we go. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. Somebody told me about that. And there you go. The good thing about this is, even if you think you're stamping it upside down, there is no upside down, right? Really, there isn't. So line it up again, and here we go. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. And there you go. So now these are ready. Right? Now we're supposed to do all the sentiments, but I'm just going to work with one card at a time. So the next thing in here that it says in the instructions is that we are layer the ribbon and cardstock strips adhering using glue strips. Okay, so on here, on this piece, we are using hold on. What are we using on these guys? And if you get lost like I do sometimes, and when I say lost, you can almost always go back to the picture and you can see what's supposed to be done. So this is ribbon that we have here. Okay, so we need to cut some ribbon. Look at this gorgeous ribbon, y'all. Right? Now, we don't really need that much, but it's 2 strips. I don't know if you can see it, but there are 2 strips of ribbon, one right next to the other on this card, okay? So we're going to cut a couple of strips of ribbon. Now, remember, we said this was, this is 4 1/2. So we don't want to cut ribbon that's 4 1/2 because that'll take you from top to bottom. We want to leave about maybe an inch or so. So if we cut the ribbon at about 3 1/2, or actually go even at 3 inch, right? And again, that's completely up to you. This is your card. I'm going to go with 3 inches, all of mine. And when I cut it, I'm going to cut at an angle, right, for both of them. Can you see what I'm doing? I have to remember not to keep things out of frame, right? And then I'm going to use multi-purpose glue. So we have this one going this way. Can you see what that says? And then we're going to cut another piece. And I'm using 3 inches as mine. You can use whatever inches or however many inches of your ribbon that you see fit. So I'm gonna stick with my 3 inches, and then I'm gonna cut as well on here. So now we can lay both pieces. Let's see if we turn this, because that's how it is, I think. Well, I cut them a little wrong, but there's always one way to fix that, right? So in my case, one will be a little bit shorter than the other one for this first card, because I didn't measure it and cut it right in the first place. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the Tombow multi-purpose glue on here, because that's gonna help it to stick. And then we're gonna do that for both sheets of paper, of ribbon. Try to make sure it's straight. Although if you know anything at all about this girl right here, doing anything straight is just like a challenge for me. Even with a straight edge or a ruler, I still can't draw a straight line to save my life. Not even close. Okay, and then we're gonna put this second strip on right here. Make sure it abuts or butts up to the one that we laid previously, and let them do that. And then we're gonna cut another 2 strips of ribbon at 3 inches each. And then make sure you kitty corner or opposite. So if this one you ended with that way, cut on the diagonal the other way. Right? And then I'm going to measure my last 3 inches. And that one's cut that way. So we need to cut this way, right? And there we go. So now on the second sheet, we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. Add our glue. I had a pretty good crafting week. What about you guys? I don't know what happened. I had a very good week this week, and I was able to stamp with my girlfriends like I normally do on Fridays. There you go. Now, oops, that's straight. And now everybody was out. It's spring break, so everybody has little things that they have to do. Oh wait, that didn't cut right. So but we had a good time at Terry's house. We had a new member to our little group, and so we were able to, I mean, that's, I think, the whole point of us meeting together with the Fabulous Fun Friday Stampers, you know, is getting to know each other, seeing everybody's incredible talent, because they are, I mean, stampers are some incredibly talented women, let me tell you. At least my group is. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for them. Okay, so we have these 2 guys that are done. There they go. And they are done. So the next thing that we have to do is step 3 is we are going to adhere some of the cut leaves and flowers and the labels that we just created. Now, and I believe everything, the flowers are using dimensionals, so this guy is not. So we are just going to, and again, I use the Tombow primarily because, like I said, for me, I have challenges lining things up. So the liquid adhesive gives me a little bit more time to make sure that everything is lined up, it's even, because I don't normally see things evenly. So there you go. And then we need to get some of these guys over here. Let's see which ones they use. We use one of these. They're all the same, really. So it kind of doesn't matter. Okay, so we are going to use this guy right here. Let's use this one. Okay. Oh no, yeah. See, that's the thing about these also. You can, by making them your own, you can also do some other stuff. So there we go. We're going to use that. And I don't see any bigger ones. So we are going to, that's it. So we're going to use these two. We are going to prop up some dimensionals on these. And you know, Stampin' Up! Gave us our dimensionals. So these are what we're going to use. Plop these guys over. Now, on these ones, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on each one. However many you put, that's completely up to you. I might do 3 up there, but we'll see in a minute. Try to make sure it's even, so that when you do pop it on your design, it doesn't look like it's, yeah, it's uneven, and it won't be like when you add it on there, one thing is more than the other. So we're gonna put this guy on first. Actually, I think the leaf is propped up also, so let's get the leaf, because I think it's all popped up, right? It looks that way to me. Again, you can make a decision on your own if you want it to be popped up or not. That's completely up to you. The instructions are super helpful in that, yes, you have a guide as to what you want to do, but you do not have to stick 100% to the guide, okay? So now I'm going to be careful because of how I'm placing. I don't really want to cover up my entire sentiment, so that should be something that I'm considering as I'm putting my pop-ups on. So this guy is done right here. See? So that's how I did that one. Now it's not, again, it's not going to look 100% like the other, but it's close enough, right? So here we go. We're going to do the other one. And again, I'm going to put some liquid Tombow on here. And the other reason I'm going to do the Tombow on it is that we're adhering it to fabric. It's not paper, so it might need a little bit more help with the adhesive. That looks, I think, my stamped a little bit off, but it works. And then the next ones we are gonna out are these guys. So we need the paper, we need the leaf. Oh, and there's another leaf in there too. So we got to use all the leaves. Yeah, 2, 3, and 4. And I need that one. See the leaf on at the top of that one? And we'll stick that one right up here. But we're going to put a little pop dot on that. Okay, so right now we are at, I don't know how long. we've been stamping. We started at 2 o'clock. It is 2:29, and we've done one of the cards, not even. So there we go. I spend too much time talking, right? I'm glad anybody that can join me was able to join me. If you weren't able to join me live, then of course you can always join me, watch afterwards. And so this is what it looks like. Then we're going to make sure we do the same. Do about 2 pop-ups a piece, stamping dimensionals. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. You will have way more than enough stamping dimensionals to do this project, and you'll have some left over for anything else that you want to do. That's that one, and I'm missing that one right there. So we have got our first 2 cards almost complete. I'm excited about that. So now, if you had somebody in the office that has a birthday that you may have forgotten, you have a quick card already. You got a quick card already with a paper pumpkin kit already done. So there's that. You can keep the same arrangements in terms of where you put the flowers. You can change it up. It's completely up to you at this point how you lay out and design your card. And so I'm just trying to be very careful not to cover up the sentiment, because you want people to be able to see the sentiment as well. Here we go. Here's the third. Now, again, there's the third. And lastly, it's going to be the second leaf. So there we go. And that's done. You guys, this card is almost done. The last thing we got to do right now is assemble it and make sure we adhere it straight to these 2 cards right here. If we look at the design, these go on the 3.5 by 5. Yeah, 3.5 by 5, and then we're just going to adhere that to that, because again I have issues with lining things up straight. I make sure I do the fold first, and you know the trick about how you fold your paper once it's scored, you always score away from the valley, and you go to the mountain. There you go. And then I burnish. Boom. And then the last thing I'm going to do at this point is, again with my liquid adhesive, my Tombow, I go corner to corner, up the middle and down. That's it. I actually do more than that, but I just don't want it to come off. So, and you line it up, and there you go. First card is done. Cute. Well, my work week is getting ready to ramp up again. So, and I normally don't craft during the work week just because of my time. So I am excited about being able to share this hour with you to get some craft done before the work week begins. And there we go. And card number 2 is done. Guys, 2 cards in 30 minutes. That's not a bad thing. There we go. Okay, so the next card we are going to work on, and again, we're only working on 2 we're gonna do, there was 3 of those. So we are now gonna work on, let's go with this guy right here. No, that's tying. Let's work on this guy right here. Okay, so let's see what that guy is about. Boom, boom, boom. So we got 2 different things to work with here. This one is this, and then this guy right here. So it seems to me like all we have on this guy is some ribbon and and we're gonna stamp hello. That should also be a quick project. So here we go. So this should be label B, and we'll take label B off. Now let's use this guy because we're already here, right? Let's make sure. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, guys, it tells you exactly what it wants you to do. So it's smaller, so I think we're gonna go with label A. Right here. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. So we need 2 of these. And there we go. And we are gonna, where's my baby wipe? Right there. Clean the baby wipe off, or the stamp off, and get this guy back. Somebody join me. Who is watching with me? Say hello. Say hello, please. So the next word we're going to stamp on this is hello. I was talking to myself. I am so happy to see that somebody else is with me. And we're just going to put hello on the block. And again, I didn't line anything up, which I should. I'm going to prime my stamp, and I prime my stamp on Versamark. Gonna stamp it with the ink spot that came in the kit, which is Early Espresso. And just to make sure that it's inked well, especially for a first, I'm just gonna slide off a little bit in the corner. That's why we always have like the grid paper and all kinds of other paper around, just so we can stamp and make sure colors are doing what they're supposed to do. So let's just stamp hello. I try to make sure that at least the item that I'm stamping on is straight. And then boom. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. There we go. There's hello. And then we're going to do that one more time. And then here we go. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do I count? A friend of mine actually told me about that. Because all that does, though, is make sure you give your inks an opportunity to do proper transfer from the stamp to the paper, so they can absorb a little bit as well. All right, so we're going to put this guy back. Right. And here we go. Put him back. Those are done. We also need some more ribbon on here. If you can see, there's ribbon right here. Right? So our cardstock is, if you really want to get technical about it, the cardstock is 4 inches wide. I would say maybe we cut, again, 3 inches. And we only need 1 piece. So we are going to cut, let me cut this part off. I don't know what I do with my scissors. Stamping is such a thing for me. And I'm going to cut this off straight. You know why? because we are going to banner the ends, and in order to banner the ends you need a straight edge, okay, or as straight as you can get it. So I need 2 pieces that's 3 inches long, maybe 3 1/4. I'm going to go with 3 1/4. Right? And then the way to do that is just leave it on there right next to, and then cut. So you should have about 3 1/4 inches. And now, like I said, the easiest way to banner anything is to, you have 2 options, or this is how I do it. I fold a paper or the ribbon or whatever it is in half, right? And then depending on how deep I would like the banner to be, I cut. Now normally I cut from the pointed edge, but I'm going to go from the folded crease side to the end. And you should have a pretty crisp and even bannered piece. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this end, right? Fold it. Make sure it's in half, or as close to in half as you get it. And then you just cut from one side to the corner. Boom. And all we're going to do at this point, so let's do it to the second, right? Because when we work assembly line, oh, I just realized that my camera is auto-focusing. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, you guys. Did not realize that. So there we go. Let's finish with the second kit. There we go. Oh, see? I did that wrong. It's all right. That's why we have extras. Right? And we're going to do the same thing. Put some Tombow glue on. As much or as little as you like. Keeping in mind it'll spill over on the edges. And there we go. They have this about maybe 1/4 of the inch down. And just put it on there. Boom. And then this is popped up on your sentiment or on your ribbon, and that is done. So let's put dimensionals on both of these. I'm probably going to put about, again, 2 on each, 1 on each end. 1, 2. Put 2 on this side as well. One on each end. And there you go. There we go. That's the first one. Pretty simple, huh? Yep. And then the next one we're going to put on, we're going to do the same thing. Here we go. Add your tombow. Make sure it's lined up straight. And then here we go. We'll just add our sentiment. Guys, that's it. Item number 2 is done. Our second project is done, you guys. You can put a little gift card in here. And I'm sure when we're done, they showed us what the back is. So on the back, you were probably wondering what these things were for, right? These guys right here. These are what we're going to use to fasten the oh, I can't speak. To fasten the ribbon that's on there. And these brads came with it, right? So, you familiar with using brads? I have brads. I don't use them a lot, but I do have them. So what we're going to do on this first one is just pop this guy out. Pop both of them out, actually. Oh. There's already 2 there. Huh. How many of these do we need before I use them? Do we need any on this one? Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need only 1. So 1 set, okay? And then what we do is we put the brad in there, poke that little center hole out. I'm gonna stick this guy in here. And then, well, let me show you how to do it first. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this part. So you put the brad in. If I can get my fingers to do what they're supposed to do. Turn it over. I have this little tool right here that just came out. I don't know what you call the tool, but I know I have it. I know I'm supposed to use it with it. And we are just going to put that guy right here. I used a little pointy part to spread these guys apart. Right? And then you use this guy right here to kind of smooth them down. So there we go. So in the interest of time, I'm actually going to move along to the next one. And just so I don't lose this guy, I'm going to put him in as well. So oops. Oops. Now, because this one is on the inside, you may not have the same opportunity to do the same thing. So all you want to do is just make sure that it's laying flat on the inside. Okay, there you go. So this one's done. And this one we'll do with the purple. But because of time and I want to get to the next project, I am going to move on to the next one. Okay. So the next piece we're going to do, the next project is going to work with the other set of cards. If I can find them. Because of course, crafting is not a neat thing, at least not in my world anyway. And of course I don't remember where I put things. So, I'm not sure where that is, where it went to. Well, on that note, I'm gonna have a drink of water while oh, there it is. While I figure out where I put my things. Okay, so the next ones we're gonna work on is the other card in the stack, and that's this guy right here. So we need the stamp set, and we need What a Beautiful Friendship. That's the stamp set we're going to use. And oh, it'll fit on that one too. And so because it'll fit on that one, we'll continue to use that block. Okay. Here we go. Line it up. Prime the stamp. Stamp off. You can also take like a little bit of a nail file and gently go over the top of it as well. And so we're gonna need these guys right here to finish this particular project. And as you can see, there's some holes in there, guys. My biggest weakness is tying bows. And of course, this right here is asking us to tie bows. All right, so we got about 8 minutes. So whenever I am at 8 minutes, I am gonna stop the program or the recording because so I'm gonna just try to finish up these two for today because I do want to be respectful of your time and make sure that we are done when we say that we are going to be done. Okay, so here we go, and this is me again trying to make sure that it's been, oh yeah, that's good. So there we go, adding the ink. I had expected that we would be more conversations and me just talking, but that's okay. That is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apologize for my head getting in the way there, but sometimes I need to, well, not sometimes, I always just need to be able to make sure that I'm actually lining it up properly. I hum or I sing when I'm stamping, so yeah. So there we go. That's done. Those are done. I'm gonna wipe this guy off and put him away. I haven't misplaced that yet, so that's my yeah. So I think we're done stamping for this project. Only because of time, so we're not gonna have the opportunity to continue on that. So I'm gonna just start to pack stuff away while I'm working on it. That way I can always continue to work on it. So anyway, here we go. On this guy, we need to adhere 1 each of these, and in their case they've got the pink on the bottom, right? And we're probably gonna end up like, because it's supposed to fit the whole thing around. So there we go. And there. Normally I would have my grid paper out, y'all, and try to line it up as much as possible end to end to make sure that I'm cutting it off, or it's at least lined up. Turn it over and snip. And then the yellow was at the top. Right? So just line that up. There we go. There we go. Snip, snip. And we're going to do the other one just to make sure that that's one. Because when you do things assembly line, that's what's supposed to happen, right? So here we go with this one. Right, and then here we go with this one. And then when you find deficiencies, then you just continue that. Right. Yep. And then now we can just cut the two of them off. Okay, so that's that. And then we are going to use these guys right here, the big flower from the, is that what we used? I don't think so. Oh, there are little flowers in here. Oh no, this guy is for the other one. So we use these flowers right here. So that's the two. Where are the other two? Yep, there they are. They're already there. And we are going to use some pop dots. Get these guys popping up. Now let's see, I'm going to use one over there. I'm going to use one over here. I'm going to use one at the top. And I'm probably going to use one in the middle. So it's about 4 I'm going to use on each of them. 1, 2. Maybe not the smaller one. So that's one set right there. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alrighty, where are we on time? So on the first one, we are just gonna take these guys off. I'm rushing now to get it done. And we're gonna put this guy here. This one we're gonna put off. And we are gonna put her. I don't know why. Sometimes I just give my things like a name or a sex or something. Yeah. Yeah. And so that guy is gonna go about here. Now, why am I gonna take this guy off a little bit? Because I think I need to make sure, right, that there, remember the, still have to put it on the, exactly, and let's put this guy under here a little bit. Okay, now the thing is, you gotta make sure that this guy can add, there you go, it'll still fit on there, because that's what we have to do. All right. So I think what we need to do, which is what I should have done in the first place, right, is you start with the smallest one, or the one that's going to hang on the bottom. And we're going to set that down first. Yeah. Because we don't want it to have too much hang over the base of the card. But once you have that one placed, then you can properly align the one on the top. Yeah. See? It's just different. Instead of trying to stick that one under it. And then here we go with these guys. Ugh, this is the part I absolutely hate. You know why? Because I gotta tie ribbons. So I'm gonna probably do one If I can find this guy. I think that's it right there. Oh, I got it on the wrong end. Ugh. Is that not my life? Oh my gosh. That is my life, y'all. That is so my life. Of course, I got it off on the wrong end. Ugh. I hate working with ribbon or twine or anything like that because I inevitably screw it up. See? I inevitably cut the wrong end or unravel the wrong side or something. Ugh. So note for self is make sure I do that unraveling thing before the video starts. That way. Yes. But really, ultimately, truly, all we're going to try to do is put this guy through here, wrap it around. I'm going to put some through there. And if I haven't completely messed this thing up, which I think I have, is somehow figure it out that we can tie a bow. Right? So oh no, see, it doesn't come that way. Right? So let's see how this is working. Because it does not ever cross the words. Right? So, you guys, I want to thank you for joining me on this Sunday. I know you have other things that you could be doing, but you took a couple minutes out of your day to spend some time with me as we assembled the March paper pumpkin kit. Thank you guys, and you guys have an awesome day, okay?